てめえは何をしているの?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Zélig. Today's video is going to be about how I learned Japanese. I made a poll on my Instagram account and you guys chose this video first, so here we are. So my journey of learning Japanese is quite complicated. Like pretty much everything that has to deal with me. Because the fact is that I started learning 2 years ago, but then I learned for about 2 months I think, then I kind of gave up, then I went back to Japan, so I started learning again for about like 4 months, then I gave up again. And all in all, in those 2 years, I've studied for about 6 months each year, so it's basically 1 year. So I would say that I've been studying Japanese for a year, and by applying my tips and tricks, you pretty much, in my opinion, can expect to have my level in 1 year if you really like studious and if you study like religiously every day. You can probably get my level easily in 1 year and not in 2 years slash 2 months and giving up for 4. So anyway, let's get started. So most of the books that I study Japanese with will be like French books, unfortunately. So if you guys like are in the States and need study books like as examples, you can't probably find the exactly same one, but you can still like check it out and see it as a basis. So I've pretty much used around all these books to study Japanese, and this is really not the whole thing because some of them are in Tokyo right now. At first, when I decided I wanted to like try to study Japanese, I just came back from my first trip to Tokyo for 1 month, and I really always wanted to kind of study Japanese, but I knew I needed like a strong motivation and I needed something to motivate me. And that motivation was my first trip in Tokyo. I was still not sure when I came back if I would be capable of studying by myself or if I would really need to take classes. Like I was imagining myself in Japanese like classroom with like a teacher and stuff, and I was like,
てめえは何をしているの?
何もしていませんけど。痛い。痛い。痛い。No. So I didn't want to invest too much in books, so I first just started with this one, which is basically a book, the kind of books that you get when you're going like in vacation somewhere and you just need like the key phrases. The book is in Romanji, so you don't need to study any kanji or katakana or hiragana to be able to like use it and study with it. And it's really good, I would say, because it really teaches you like the key phrases. And when I started using it, it really gave me a feeling of, oh, I could really study that language by myself because I'm able to pronounce the phrases, I'm able to like understand how to build a sentence, because Japanese sentences are built very differently from like English or French, because the verb is generally at the end of the sentence. So this is the kind of logic you kind of get used to, and that was probably the only difficulty I had at the very beginning of this. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to know like what the sentence is about if the verb is at the end? But actually I don't know, at the end when you just get used to it, it becomes quite easy. I don't know why. In the book, when they write a sentence, they have one version in hiragana, katakana or kanji, one in romanji and one in French. So it's very handy because even though I wasn't trying to study the hiragana, kanji and katakana yet, I was like looking at it, and I realized that by the end of this book there are like a few that I could already like recognize easily because I've just seen them so many times. This was my first step, and I went through it several times, like 2 or 3 times. I also had like another book that was a vacation book for kids as well, as well for like 7-year-old, and the kind of books that you give your kids like in vacation and just to keep them like busy. And I also used this one, and that's when I started to like learn hiragana and katakana. This was also like really nice because it was easy, and it was a really like easy way to learn. You don't feel like you're like studying like really hard or you have like to push or anything like this. So it really makes you like more excited and motivated. And then my second step was this one, which is 1,000, my first 1,000 Japanese words. It's also French books, and it's like a children's book basically, and I chose it really on purpose. I mean, I've spilled something. I've been traveling with this for like everywhere I go I travel with it, so I think I've spilled something in it like in my suitcase, but whatever. Oh, whatever. And you basically have like some drawings with all the words. It works pretty well. I have to say I've been very slacking off with this for like ages now. And after I was done with those 2 ones, that's when I bought the thick one. Now this one, I've only been through the whole thing once. I'm about to go through the whole thing like a second time. And this is the big deal, guys, because it has like long ass text. Like it has text in Japanese who are like, this is 1 page and it's written like very small, and the text is actually like 1 page and a half. And it has a lot of exercises, and you have like the correction at the end. And this book, we kind of have like a love and hate relationship, because I feel like I'm learning a lot with this book, but there are a lot of mistakes, and I wasn't even halfway through the book. I was starting to pick up and to notice mistakes, and I was like, I'm either really good because I'm already able to like notice Japanese mistakes by a professional who actually made a Japanese learning book, or they are really stupid to make all those mistakes in this book. So like, who did like the checkup of that? Because there are so many mistakes sometimes, and it can be confusing because sometimes when I check up like the answer for the exercises, I'm like, are they right or am I right? But this book has been really helping me like improve a lot, because I've learned how to use like all kind of comparison, how to use like adjectives. And I'm not gonna lie, because as I told you guys before, since I would study for like 2 months and then like kind of quit and then study for like 4 months, that's why I would then restart from the beginning of the book, because it wouldn't just make sense to like 4 months later just start in the middle. Because sometimes you need like the previous like lessons are kind of the basis, and then you need it still to like be able to like go through sometime. So I would just start from the beginning, and that's why the first chapters I really know them very well. I kind of like master all the knowledges, and the exercises I've pretty much like have them perfectly. I do them perfectly like every time that I go through it. But when it gets after the middle, it gets a little harder for me, and I get more to like an 80-70% of like right answers. So I think I'm gonna go through this one for like still, I don't know, but I really wanted to have like my journey of studying Japanese go really smoothly. That's why I didn't want it to take classes, because I wanted it to be something fun and something light. I didn't want it to be like, oh, now I'm stuck here, my bony ass is stuck on the chair for like 2 or 4 hours, and now they're giving me homework, but I'm actually the one paying them, so I can't quit. You know, like when you're a kid, you can't just quit everything because your parents are paying, but when you start to grow up and you're paying for shit by yourself, you're like, shit, I can't get a refund, so I basically have like to like go through it. So I didn't want it to have like my Japanese learning experience go this way. So that's why I decided to like just study by myself. And I think for now I've done a few tests on some website like from schools, and my level is basically like N4, which is like the second year of studying, which I'm quite proud of because I've achieved this like all by myself with like no pressure basically. And I think if I study seriously this year, I would probably get to like to the N3 next year. I often went out with like some Japanese friends, like group of all Japanese people, and there's always like one person that tries to like speak English with me, but as soon as I say that I can speak a bit of Japanese, they often overestimate my capacities, and and they start like on me, and when it's too fast I can't understand everything, and sometimes they might use like some word that I don't know. As I say, my vocabulary is not that amazing, so sometimes it would go too fast for me, and when I would want to like actually take part in the conversation, by the time I make up my sentence in my mind and I'm about to say it, the conversation has gone in another direction already. So I can no longer like just drop my sentence. Like I wish I could just say like, everybody be quiet, Zélig's gonna talk. But that's not the way it is. I have like, it was like already over, so I would just say like, so I really want to get to that level where I can fully be myself in Japanese and fully like feel relaxed and not feel like I need to have like my ears wide open, my eyes wide open when I'm having a conversation with like a Japanese person, because right now that's pretty much the way it is. There are some anime that I can watch quite easy, like Pokemon or everything, but I think it mostly depends of the audience the anime was done for. Like some anime were made for like younger kids, and some were made like for older kids, and some anime use like older language and like higher language, and sometimes they have a specific vocabulary because they are introducing some kind of concept to the story, whereas Pokemon is kind of like for younger kids, and it's like, I mean, I know it's been the same concept for like 10 years, so I kind of know like what it's about. I think I can understand pretty much 80% of what they're saying, and the rest I kind of can guess. But some anime, sometimes I don't understand shit. Like I would say I understand 40%, which is not enough to be able like to follow like the story like and to really enjoy it. So I think I'm still very far from being like fluent, but I would say that if I study seriously for a year and a half, yeah, probably for a year and a half, if I study seriously, I can get fluent on my own. But at the same time, learning a language is kind of like an endless thing, because you always have like new things to learn. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you had any other question about learning Japanese or about life in Japan, let me know in the comment box below. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and keep yourself happy. Jana!